Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Start with Portia and Curtis. Started talking for a little bit, and they run into Jordan, which earlier she got not a call, but she was talking to Cyrus about shutting down the investigation with Brando. He pretty much was like, yo, I want that to be done. Just end it. And so she decided to end the whole investigation. And she meets up with Chase, and she's like, yo, listen, I want to take you off that case about the whole Jason Morgan thing, because it's just a dead end, it's not going anywhere, and it's just, I can use you for other things. And at first he's like, this really makes no sense. Like, mob war breaking out, this isn't like an urgent thing for you. But she pretty much puts her foot down, and that's when Curtis and Portia overhears, telling Chase to just kind of drop it. So he's like, alright, fine, whatever. He walks off, and Portia is like, what are you doing? So they get into it, and she pretty much calls Jordan a coward. Like, what are you doing? You're being just very complicit with this whole Cyrus thing. Like, you already smeared Taggart's name through the mud. Like, what is going on with you? So they go back and forth, and Jordan's like, yo, I don't answer to you, pretty much. He was like, I don't answer for you. Like, what are you talking about? They go back and forth. You got Curtis in the middle. That's that they're trying to, like, break them apart or whatever. And finally, she's like, you know what? I'm tired. I know we're supposed to sit there and hang out with TJ, but I can't do it. And, Curtis turns around and is like, yo, listen, she's already under enough pressure. What are you doing? But Portia's like, yo, there's just something not right with how quick she was to drop that investigation. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that saw it, that sees it. Curtis has that look in his face like, damn it, she's catching on. And so I was like, wow. Also, you know what? Here's the thing. This whole, Portia was not there thanking Curtis for taking the blowback from Trina. And, Curtis just like, oh, well, she's a teenager and stuff like that. I was like, you know what? The fact that you're just so okay with it, the fact that Portia is okay with it, she's not really, she's not really sitting there taking a lot of action as far as, like, calming that down. I don't like that. I really don't like that. That whole, oh, well, she's a teenager, so it's okay. No, the hell it's not. Talking to a grown-ass adult, and honestly, to tell you the truth, at some point, she needs to be put in a damn place. Point blank, period. Now I want to get to my favorite part of this whole episode, and I'm going to talk about some other stuff too. Brooklyn. So at this point she's put on the spot to sing. And, she's like, I need to warm up and stuff like that. Just give me a few minutes. And, Lucy's doing everything she can to sit there and try to... One second. Sorry about that. I didn't really like that song. I don't know what that was, but it wasn't working for me. So yeah, where were I? Brooklyn. Yes, Brooklyn. So she pretty much stalls. She finds Amy, and she convinces her to sing for her. Amy does it. Because she looks at the situation, she looks at Lucy trying to salvage this whole thing, and so she agrees to do it. So, Brooklyn starts singing, and, you got, well, let's see, you got Lucy that's just smiling, you got Sasha that's smiling. Valentine, at first, he starts smiling, but then he's like, yeah, something's kind of off about this whole performance. Something don't feel right. So, Chase, while Amy's out there singing and everything like that, Chase walks behind her, and he's just like, what is going on? for a good 30 seconds. He's just trying to wrap his brain around this whole concept. He realizes what's going on, and I think he says something to Amy. Because at this point he's like, what the hell is going on? So he says something to Amy, and Amy says something, and at that point, it was just awkward as hell. Oh my goodness, the look on everyone's faces. The look on Brooklyn's faces, the look on that woman's face. Jesus Christ, that was bad. It was bad. It was really bad. And, let's see. So at this point, it's just all going to hell. It's all going to hell. This woman's like, yeah, I can't do business with you people. I mean, first, you got this woman that is just messing up, like, the whole, like, presentation. I thought that was bad. Now, we're just faking everything. I mean, you know, I feel like there's going to be a cheesy joke that's going to come on about how deception is really being... Well, you know what? I had something, but I lost it. But the point is, she's pretty much deceiving people. They're pretty much deceiving people. I think that was the joke that I was going to say. But the point is, she's like, I want none of y'all. Like, I want no parts of any of y'all. And she walks out, and Lucy is like, no, no, no. And she's begging her to stay. And I'm just like, what on earth makes you think that this woman's going to want to stay after A and B just screwed everything up? At this point, it would have been better for her just own it, said, okay, cut her losses, and that would have been that. Valentine tries to walk her out and start talking to her, and then Lucy just goes on a tirade. First, she went on a tirade, she went on a tirade with Sasha, and then she went on a tirade with Brooklyn. Like, what the hell was going on? She just berated her about the whole thing, and Brooklyn was like, I'm sorry, this, that, and the third. And you know, the sad thing is that at first, the look on her face, I wanted to sit there and feel sorry for her. I wanted to. I really did, because it just all went to hell. And her best intentions, and they were good intentions, didn't really matter. But you know what? This is on her. This is all on Brooklyn, and that's why I can't feel sorry for her. If she would have just told Lucy from the get-go that, hey, you know, slash my throat, I can't sing anymore, I'm sorry, I can't be the voice of deception, she would understand. Hell, she might actually would have just gave Amy the job at that point. But she didn't, and she lied. So this is exactly what happens, and at the end of the day, this is all on her. And so Lucy was like, you're fired, I don't want to see you again, you're done. So now Brooklyn is sitting at the bar, and you got Chase there, you got Amy there, and Amy leaves because she don't want no parts of Lucy. And then, you know, Chase is sitting there talking to Brooklyn, and Brooklyn's like, oh, well, you know, I trusted the devil, I trusted Valentine. I'm like, you know, you can't even blame Valentine for that. You really can't. You really can't blame Valentine for that, because this is on her. So, once again, I felt like she really didn't learn her lesson too much, because she's passing the buck on that. Awesome. Let's see, you got, rest of it is just whatever, I guess. Peter comes over at Anna's house, and he breaks the news that they're getting married, that him and Max are getting married. So at this point, you know, he's so happy, he's over the moon. Anna decides not to say anything, and just, you know, celebrate with him and his marriage. So, yeah, that happens. She doesn't say anything, once again. Okay, Anna, sure. You know best. What else happens? You got Finn and Chase talking, and, I don't think they really talk about anything important, except for the fact that yeah, they don't really talk about anything important. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I can't remember it, and I don't really think it's relevant. Oh, except for the fact that Chase tried to get, a group dinner between, Jackie and Finn is just like, not having it. Not doing it. Nope, it's just not going to happen. It's just too much hurt and heartache and just, no. That was it. Also, Finn had a conversation with Cyrus, which, honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm not going to lie, didn't really go anywhere. I really didn't even get the point of that scene because Cyrus just came there and said, I want to work with you, I want to work with you more closely and just develop a good relationship. And Finn was like, nah, I'm good. And then he just walked off. So I don't know what he has in store for Finn, but I guess we'll just wait and see. Also, what else happened? Maxie told Max. So weird. Maxie told Max. And Robert just was phoning it in the whole time. And Jackie talked to Robert about like, yo, listen, whatever is going on with you and Peter, I hope it's not worth losing your family over. Because Robert is trying to warn Jackie about working with Peter, but Jackie's like, listen, I've done my homework on him, and I'm just play by ear, and if, something nefarious comes up, you just have to read about it. So, what else happens? So everyone's at the bar at this point. You got Peter and Maxie at the bar, and Robert's there, Maxie's there, said. Sorry, I also took some medication, which is really starting to hit me right about now. But as they say, show must go on. And what happens? You got Robert and you got Robert and Mac there. I don't know why I said Maxie. Oh my God, I really screwed that up. I am not gonna sit there and redo this. You got Robert and Mac there, and they're talking, and because Mac is like, yo, listen, you need to sit there and drop this whole thing with Peter. Maxie's happy. I'm happy for them. Let it go. And then he starts talking about, oh, Brick did this, no, Brick did that, and at that point, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of rolled my eyes like, I don't think you know the whole story. But pretty much what Max said was that, listen, if Peter's up to something, I got your back, and we'll figure it out together. Because Robert came over to Maxie and Peter's table, and he was like, oh, I just want to kind of congratulate you on, your marriage. And I was like, bro, you're not even trying at this point. What are you doing? Like, honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm not going to lie, it would have been better if he just would have said nothing than for him to come over there to say the most phony congratulations that I've ever seen. Anyway, again, I don't think it really mattered. I don't think it really went too much of anywhere, except for the fact that Anna had a good idea when she was talking to Finn again, because she was like, listen, I didn't tell him about whatever. I know you're going to say something to me, but before you do, because Anna had an idea when Peter told her about the rumor, some sort of medical thing that he has, or that he will have. And it made her think, you know what? She was like, listen, I don't actually have to tell him the truth. Or something. I think she's going to try to look into the medical history of Peter because of that gene that he might have or whatever. So I guess it's her workaround or whatever. I don't know. Honestly, tell you the truth, I'm like, just tell him the damn truth. He's a grown man. I'm pretty sure he can handle it, but whatever. Anna knows best, so yeah. I'm going to pause it for a second. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, felt like I missed something. I feel, yeah, so this is actually the end of the review. Because I thought I missed something, but I really didn't. And it's so interesting when I do the Days reviews and I do the GH reviews. And one thing that I noticed, in GH, there was a lot of characters, but not a lot happened. And I felt like the same amount of stuff would have happened if there would have been less characters. Like, me... Oh, also, Cyrus Cole's Brandon told him that, you know, they dropped the charges, and, you know, Brandon was like, well, you know, what could I do for you, or what do you need from me in return? Something like that. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I forgot about it because Brando came in like, what, a half an hour into it? And it made me sit there and think, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like, at least in this episode, GH had a lot of characters. Like, Brando really didn't need to be in that episode. Yeah, he came over to Maxie's table, he congratulated her, but was it really needed? Did Cyrus really, like, did we really need to see Cyrus call Brando to sit there and tell him the good news that they dropped the investigation? No, but they did it anyway. And I just felt like this episode just had maybe one too many people, or it just felt cramped for some odd reason. Like, even as I was sitting there talking about the bar scene, you had, let's see, you had Jackie, you had Robert, you had Mac, you had Maxie, you had Peter, and I'm pretty sure I said Robert, but you just had so many people there, and I felt like, damn, you just had too many damn people there. And that's something that I notice whenever I'm doing these reviews on GH, and I'm doing my reviews on Days. Sometimes Days can be a lot easier because sometimes I feel like they just have less characters than they do on GH, which they have a lot of characters on GH, but not a lot happen. So, and I know the medication that I took right now really didn't help, but, like, still. Anyway, with that being said, that's the end of the review. Thank you so much for watching. I was also sitting there thinking, you know what? This review was... My GH reviews have been longer than Days. I've been trying to find ways to shorten it a little bit, but I really couldn't because there was so many damn characters. So anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. And I said this in my last review, but I don't know if I said it in this one. I also had two root canals done. And I wasn't in a lot of pain before, but then I started getting a lot of pain, which I had to take medication for, which is starting to affect me right now. So, I was like, you know, I really don't feel like doing this review again, and it's kind of late for it to come out. But I do want to thank people who have been rocking with me, and who's rocking with me right now watching this review, even though I know it's coming out a little bit later. And let's say a certain someone already did the review. So I really appreciate the people that are watching my review on GH. Not that I'm knocking him or anything like that, but his reviews are great, and yeah. So with that being said, enough of me rambling, Jesus Christ. Have a good day or good night. Thank you for watching. Be safe. I will catch you in the next